ready to shoot, okay?
It's not very often that, we shoot the video and then come and do the intro. We've not really done it many times in the past, but this time, I wanted to be pretty sure before doing that introduction because, we knew we had this amazing GFX50S II with us. And of course, we got this fantastic set of NAND light, continuous LED lights, tubes, etc. A wide range of their product, and we wanted to put them to a test. And we were looking for an appropriate, location, model. We wanted to create an interesting situation to begin with. And it has to be interesting too. And then came across this fantastic opportunity to work with another fantastic, really, really amazing machine. So I thought it would be a great combination of some finest pieces of devices, a camera, light, and then of course, Lamborghini Gallardo. Well, the owner is a friend of Pixel Viilage. He's been extremely helpful in, lending his magnificent machines for shoots in Pixel Viilage. This time, he even agreed to be our model. All right, it's a rare event. I don't know what pushed him to become the model this time, but yes, he agreed to be the model of the day. And of course, we had Priya, who was one of our, regular models at Pixel Viilage, and we managed to put it together. It was raining. It is raining cats and dogs outside. Roads are not in great condition, so taking this car out into the open was not a, possibility. So we finally decided to shoot in our own basement. So we went a couple of levels down to the lowest basement on the level 3, and quietly we set up our shot. And of course, I'm not personally, besides during our commercial work, of course you have to do it, but I don't really like this three-pointed lighting. Everything is well lit and then you clean it. The skin is corrected like plastic and wax or something like that. I personally don't really enjoy it. So I like to kind of recreate, or rather use the light to create something which actually looks very interesting, not in the typical, like I said, three-pointed lighting fashion. So we went down to the basement, set our lights up. So we had this Forza 500, which is actually lighting me today. The Forza 500, I used it as the main light, and I put a Fresnel on it, so it gave me that first shaft of light based on which I started building other lights. Okay, and of course, the GFX50S II. Now, for all those who have seen the first part of the GFX50S video will already know the features of this camera. So we actually wanted to also shoot it in really low light. Though we had 500 watts and all these accessories available to us, I wanted to create a certain kind of a look, which is probably, not about too much light, okay? So we controlled the light. We used a Fresnel, we used the barn doors, and then we also used, a diffuser in front to further skim the light. So I wanted a direction, so Fresnel helped. 500 watts behind the Fresnel also helped, and that shaft of light again was diffused using this big light. So, of course, this camera has an IBIS, but I was comfortable shooting on a tripod because I had to every time keep running around the set to fine-tune the lights and also give instructions to the models. So tripod, and I've used the kit lens, the 3570, to shoot all this. Now the first one, as you can see, was set up inside the Lamborghini. Now this car had a heavily tinted side glasses and the windshield, and it also had a hint of a tint of a greenish cast. So I thought I'll keep it like that and did not correct it. So I set the camera to 5500K, which is like a daylight, and stayed there throughout the shoot. And instead of auto-correcting or custom correcting the white balance, I wanted to retain what I saw. So in order to kind of convey what I saw, I need to stay at 5500. This is the new style that I am following in Pixel Village, unless I am using a colored light and I want to still keep my white as white. If I'm using a colored light, well, the white needs to have that tint of that color, right? If I'm shooting something in the afternoon, I need the viewer to feel like that it is afternoon, and in the evening or morning, I need the viewer to feel like that it is morning or evening. So the best way, instead of grading that in the post, I thought I would shoot it like that. The best way is the good old-fashioned shooting with a daylight film. I chose 5500 and continued shooting throughout. So the first set again was shot, and I wanted to go a little high on ISO because this camera has great low light sensitivity. So I shot many of the shots at 6400. Sometimes when the light was enough, then I came down to 3200, and few shots I shot at 1600. I always prefer to go in one-stop increments when I work with ISOs, right? So you go with the base ISO, which is, let's say, 100, then you work up in one stops. I mean, I personally would prefer avoiding the in-between ISOs like the 125 and the 160s, etc. Go one step. I think that's better. So on tripod, I didn't have to worry about two things: shake unless the model moved, and light, because this had great low light sensitivity. Of course, I instructed the model to kind of stay as quiet as possible and wait for the instructions. And these are the shots that we got. So I saw this responding very well to low light situations. Information in the black was very easy to lift up and bring it to the level that is required for me. Highlights again, I could very comfortably pull a lot of information from the white. So that's why I purposely kept the man in white, so that I can demonstrate how the camera will, kind of behave in a highly contrasty situation. So the girl was in black and the man was in white. So I could actually do that correction very well without making the image look like it is an HDR. So that's a big thumbs up for me. The 3570, which is the new kit lens that comes along with the GFX50S II, did its job, but I must say, I definitely missed the wide apertures. I wish I could throw some things out of focus, especially things were not exactly tidy in the basement. So I wanted to throw a few things out of focus, but I couldn't do it for the want of that additional couple of wider aperture. And again, 3570, don't be mistaken. You will definitely require more lenses. An 80 and a 110 and a 120 must be there in your kit if you're a professional photographer, because this is equivalent to, let's say, 24, 55. So there is a limit to which what you can accomplish with this lens. So, but it's a fantastic lens for $500 for sure, but you must definitely look at. I missed it for the shoot. I'm certain that I could have pulled off some very interesting shots with a 110 and 80 for sure, because that 80 is a juicy, wide open, I think it's an f2 lens. Well, I missed that for sure. Anyway, I have to work with what is available to me, right? So that's how we did the entire shoot, and the images are in front of you to see. While I'm extremely happy with the results, I always had this, okay? I always had this. I can't really say complaint, but I would like to see these modifications for sure in their GFX range. The original GFX had, but the 100 and the 50S don't have it. So first thing I wanted to see is, because it's meant for, professional use, I would definitely like to see some backlit buttons. there are only very few, but working in the dark, I think backlit buttons will definitely help. I think these two blank buttons need to be marked as whatever it is supposed to be, like function 1 and function 2, etc. I think it needs to be marked. The first dial, the numeric dial is perfect, but the other rotary dial display, maybe the graphics can be improved. Now, these suggestions or these observations doesn't really affect any image quality, so that's absolutely not a bother for photographers. But in terms of design elements, I wish if those things come through, then this will go into a completely new level altogether. And we shot there for almost 3.5 hours in that basement. And since I did not have, I was shooting in the camera, right? So, and I was also previewing it throughout. And sometimes I would just leave the camera on the tripod on, when you go out to set or speak to the model, etc. During which time the camera was on, but the battery stayed till the end of the shoot. We shot about 3 to 4, maybe about 4 situations. Shot many shots. Like I said, the LCD was on throughout. But it lasted about 3.5 hours. And towards the end, of course, it started, blinking with that red indicator on the battery symbol. So, but otherwise, I really enjoyed this camera. My 2 bits, I already said, it was about the dial design, probably backlit buttons behind. There aren't too many, like I said, but I think it'll help you in the dark for sure. Otherwise, this camera lived up to all its promises, and the images are in front of you too. And of course, the wonderful NAND light. Well, fortunately, this is going to stay in the studio for a long time. So we're going to be doing a lot of shoots with it, and we're going to kind of, every time, going to explain to you what we did with these lights, that's for sure. What else? Yeah. And also watch these amazing videos and stills created by the ex-photographers in India using the GFX50S II. All links are in the description. So, if you are a photographer who is looking to upgrade your full-frame camera, or if you are a commercial photographer looking for that camera which can deliver great, amazing quality at a budget, because these days you have a lot of opportunities even in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities because of the e-com boom in the country. You definitely are asked every time to produce a better quality image. So definitely a great deal of that depends on the kind of equipments besides the craft that you purchase, is also depend on the device that you own. So if you are looking at upgrading your full frame or acquiring that first professional camera, I think it's worth taking a look at the GFX50S II. Reasons are many. The first and foremost, obviously, is that image quality. thanks to the large sensor and that pixel, which is again extra large in comparison to, let's say, a highly resolved full frame camera. Second is, of course, the price. The entry point to these kind of professional cameras are completely now, within your reach with this amazingly priced GFX50S II. Now, of course, all those photographers, the wedding photographer for sure, who wants to kind of, for many, the equipment upgrade is not only a confident boosting exercise, but also, it's also a sense of pride, of ownership of a great piece of engineering. So in that way, if you look at it, definitely lots of wedding photographers can upgrade to something like this and also not spend big bucks. These lenses, GFX, the mount is the same. So tomorrow, if you want to upgrade yourself to the 100 megapixel, kind of a domain, of course, the lenses can be reused and the 50 will become your second camera. And of course, technology these days are making great quality products at an affordable price. And of course, while this can be bought, remember, the talent and the understanding of the craft needs to be developed by you. So please make sure that you give enough importance to understanding the fundamentals and build on that. These are, mind you, just tools. If you are interested in learning photography, please head over to pixelvillage.com. We have a set of fantastic photography teachers there taking classes for you. They're all recorded sessions. You can watch the bouquet of offering, and if you like it, you can subscribe. Bye for now.